My name's Chris, and I'm 18 years old, and I've been going to Blue Ridge for a pretty long time. Probably about 10 years ago, I was hanging out with some friends, and I was introduced to something that I never expected to grow into what it did. And I just found myself on the internet, on places that I shouldn't be. For us on the band, we meet every Tuesday night at Luke's house for a small group. And a lot of times we just talk about where God is in our life. And we just confess things, and we're very open with each other. Not too long ago, maybe 6 months, I brought Luke aside one night. Luke's the worship leader in here, and I just let him know what's going on. I just let him know that I'm struggling and I'm dealing with some rough stuff, and I want to change that. And we established we were gonna have some sort of accountability, a way to free myself from what I found myself stuck in. And I felt really good after that. I feel like you get something off your chest. You just feel new again. And for about 2 or 3 weeks, it's about how much that high feeling lasted. And I just slowly found myself fading back into my old ways, because I had in my head that I could handle this on my own. I could fix all this on my own. I didn't think that I needed God to fix this. I didn't think that I needed help from peers or influential people in my life. And that essentially led to my downfall again for the second time. And for the next 6 to 8 months, I was just stuck in it again and again, playing up there on every Sunday. And no one knew what was going on behind the scenes. We always hear people talk about those two-faced Christians and those people who act all good on Sunday, but as soon as Monday comes around, they're a completely different person. And it really hurts to admit that that was me. As much as I've claimed to be following Jesus and living out what everyone thought was a good life, I wasn't. All this really came down hard about 2 weeks ago. I was at work, waiting tables at a restaurant, and this family came in, and we just started talking about church and music and liberty and all this stuff. And they asked me where I went to church, and I said I go to Blue Ridge. I let them know that I was a drummer and I play on the worship team over there, and that the look on their face after I said that was kind of cool, because they were kind of like, oh, this kid's got it together, and oh, this kid, he's a good kid, he's on the right track. We just started small talking again, and it was about time for them to leave. And the parents of this daughter, they both looked at me, and right when we're about to close out the conversation, she looked at me and she goes, "May God bless you and your ministry." Those words just hit me, because there's no way that you can have a successful ministry when you have people hiding behind a mask of who they are. I just felt very, very weak at that moment. I was feeling fine the whole night, and I was feeling very achy, and I just wanted to go home. And this was actually a Saturday night, so I had to play drums the next morning. So the next hour or two, I'm just going through work and just feel like crap. And I don't get home until about 1:30, 1:45 in the morning. I take a shower and I get in bed around 2:30 in the morning. And I'm just laying down, trying to fall asleep, and my mind is just going all over the place, thinking about like sleep and playing drums. And then I started thinking, like, really, Chris, you're gonna go up there and play drums on Sunday when you're dealing with this thing that you haven't been able to beat for so long? And my mind just started playing tricks on me. I started degrading who I was. I was saying things in my head that, I'm not worth anything and I'm fake and all this stuff that was really getting to me. And then at a moment's notice, I went from being really cold and shivering to sweating and feeling really uncomfortably hot. The only thing I could think of was to pray. I needed God in that moment. And I just talked to him. I let him know that I'm sorry for disobeying him and for sinning, and I confessed to him what I've been doing and what I know is wrong. And in that moment, everything kind of went away. I stopped feeling really hot. I stopped sweating. And I just calmed down for a moment. The moment I called out to God, it all ceased. And he came to my rescue. And it's just a really cool feeling to know that God cares about you and he can save you from anything. I could not fall asleep that night. I was thinking about, all right, I gotta tell someone, I gotta confess. Because it wasn't just a few Sundays ago that John was talking about confession, and in the back of my mind, I was saying that. And so I finally did fall asleep for about an hour, whatever that felt like. And I get to church around 6 in the morning. The other bandmates are starting to show up, and they're setting up all their guitars and stuff, and Luke's on stage. I'm just kind of off to the side. Finally, when Caleb got there, I just brought Caleb and Luke aside, and we went into one of the conference rooms, and I just confessed to two guys who I'm really close with in my life and in my walk with Jesus. I just let them know that I've been struggling, and I've been rolling around in this sin that I've been telling myself forever that I cannot get out of. I can't beat it. And the love and the grace that I felt that morning was not what I expected. I expected Luke to be upset and disappointed, and what are we going to do now? We don't have a drummer. But I felt like it was in best interest for me and for what we want to put up on stage that I should not be playing on that Sunday. I want to protect what we believe in on the band. For these 2 weeks after this whole thing, it's been good. I've grown a lot. I've been spending more time speaking to God, reading His Word, and I've taken a little bit on myself to aid in removing this. Just some smart choices of not being around a computer late at night, not bringing my iPod, which you can get on the internet with, in my room late at night. And I know the road from here on out is not going to be perfect, but God is changing me as I'm brutal in removing this sin from my life.